Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we're finally getting some of the hot racing parts fitted. So first we're going to crack on with taking wheels off, just to make it easier to get to everything, especially the ends of the links. So I might even take the body off as well, stop it flapping about while I'm trying to do stuff. So it's the 2 screws, one at either side of here, and the 4 wheel nuts off first. So we'll get them off and we should be able to get a better idea of what we're actually working with. Right, so that's all 4 wheels off. Just be careful you don't drop the X drives off and drop the little pin out of them. But basically, so what we've got to do now, I'm going to drop this link off. So it's that screw at the bottom, that screw at the top. So I'm going to drop one of the longest links off and see which one lines up best with them. Right, so we've got this link off, and it looks like they're exactly the same all the way around. That screw is from nearest the rear axle, so there, and the longest screw is from the bottom. Just in case you're wondering which way around, there you go. And I believe these links are the longer. So we're looking at I think they're 58.5. So if we get that lined up and see if it'll focus. Yep. So it looks like they're the 58.5 links. So let's get that one fitted. Make sure you don't lose any of the little rubber O-rings off the end of the olives. And of course you do have to remember you're working on it upside down. So choose which way you put in the link so the writing's the right way around when it's back on its wheels. So we'll get that one fitted. Right, so that's the 2 lower rear links fitted. What I would advise, it's a lot easier to get this end in than this end. So I'd put this end in first, then fit the axle side. Right, the next thing I want to move along to is these bottom links. So it's going to be undoing them from here on both sides, and then we're also fitting this top part. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm removing that top part, I'm going to see if we can get that off without undoing those. I'm not sure if they go through into the axle, but I'm going to try first just removing these top 2 screws and the ones that hold the arms to, or the links to the chassis, and see if we can get it off in one piece. Right, the screws for this one, the 2 from the chassis and the 2 that go through the rear axle, all the same length. So once you remove the 2 back ones and the 2 ones that hold it to the chassis rails, this entire piece will lift out. So we don't need to separate that at the moment. So basically what we're looking at now is we've got the hot racing part. So we've got to see how that lines up. So we're going to want that, and then we're going to want to find out which ones of these, what size do we have. So we've got 50s and 51s. So we're going to have to line these up right at the side of it and see which ones fit perfect, and then get the relevant ones fastened to this. Now that part does come with a bunch of new screws, so we're going to have to see which length screws fit into it. Let's crack on with that one, get that assembled. Right, so after looking at this, it does look as though the shorter of the screws that are supplied with the hot racing part are designed for here, and it's the 51mm arms or links, if you like, that you want to get fastened on this. And I really wish this would focus. So yeah, we're going to get the shorter of the screws on there. I think the longer ones are for this part, and then the standard screws that came with the chassis are to fasten this to the chassis rails. So we'll give it a go that way round and see how we get on. Right, so same as the lower control arms, the upper ones, definitely easier to fit this cap on first, then fit the control arms from this end. Try and slightly, you can just get a screwdriver down in it and just hold it apart slightly while you're sliding the bushing in, but that gets them fitted in. But yeah, all fitted really nice, and definitely looks a bit nicer than the plastic bits. I'm not sure if I'll swap the plastic axles out, because I do find the metal axles tend to catch on things when you're trying to crawl over them, especially sharper rocks. Plastic seems to slide a bit easier, but I might add some more weight to the sort of diff covers. But right, let's see what we've got to tackle on the front now. So we need to get the servo off. So I think on that one I'm going to start by pushing that up and taking the servo on off, and then probably disconnect the bottom links, take them off altogether, and then get the top link off, the one that goes over the drive shaft. So first off, I'm going to get the servo on off, and then I'm going to take this one, this one, this one, and the one you can see right down in the bottom there, and do that on both sides, and that should get all the links off, and then see what else is holding the servo tray on. Right, so once again the longer screws are from this side, all four, and the shorter screws are from the one right at front and these. And then once we've got the servo on off, you can just slide this whole assembly forward, and that'll let you lift that out. God, this autofocus is bad. So you can lift this piece out. When you're replacing it with the hot racing one, make sure you put this chamfered part facing the where the drive shaft runs over it, because it's cut out so it don't catch. And then the only other things we should have to do, there should be, if I can get it to focus at all, so there's those two screws right at the top of the diff housing, and that should let the entire servo assembly all lift out. So we'll get that done. Right, so that's got everything disassembled, and then what we need to do is put this piece back down on top of the diff housing. Entirely up to you whether you want to fit servo back in first or not. Don't really make any difference. It were easy enough to take it out with it on, so I can't see it making any difference putting it back in. Screw wise, what we got? So we've got the silver screw that holds that to the hot racing steerer arm. And then with the hot racing servo mount plate comes with two short ones, I think, or two short ones and three long ones. So I'm guessing the longest are for, so the longest are going to go through here to hold it to diff. I'm not sure if there is three different lengths, but definitely one of the long ones will be for that. And I'm taking it the two short ones are for servo, so we'll get them in and see how it looks. Right, so that's all the links back together. See if I can get it to focus. So we've got the 50mm on the front, we've got the 58.5 and 51 on the rear, and the little mount plate on the rear axle is fitted, and then on the front we've got the servo just put into position. Now this servo is going to need a bit of work because it's just fouling the inside of the bumper bracket there, and it is slightly wider than the actual, I'm not sure if I can get a good shot, but it's slightly wider. It just wants them ends taking off, and I think I'm just going to file it a tiny little bit at the end where it meets the top link. Just going to take a little bit off of the corner on that in the middle, just to get it to fit properly. But yeah, it's looking quite nice. It does actually feel like it's added a bit of weight to it low down as well. But yeah, let's get that servo out and see if we can make that fit a bit better. Right, so basically we've had to file them down, file the webbings off them to get it to sit further back. And I've had to taper that down and file the edges down, just put a taper on them, just to see if we can get it to clear the front bumper brackets. They're the bits that are causing the problem, so we'll try it again. Right, well, that's all the hot racing parts fitted, or all the ones we have so far. And the servo's mounted, just waiting for the servo arm to arrive now. Would I advise using this servo with the hot racing parts? No, and I don't think it'd fit any better with the non-hot racing part. Can you make it work? Yeah, you can. It's not really difficult. You just got to chop the brackets up a little just to give clearance for the front bumper. Would it work different on a Jeep or something? Not sure, because I don't know how far these fastening or how the front bumper goes on Jeep, or if it mounts further forward. But certainly on the C10, not a great fit, this servo. Should be a really good powerful servo for it, so from that stance, yeah, it is nice. You could always fasten it in with servo tape or radio tray tape instead of using the brackets. That'd make it easier, and just cut the little wings off altogether. Might be something I'll look into in future, depending on how we get on with it. But quite happy with how the rest of the hot racing parts are fitted. They're all really nice, and it's giving it quite a bit of low down weight now. We have got another motor coming, and I'm going to get rid of that sticker just to get a bit of heat out the motor for the time being. But we've got a few different motors to try. Right, so I've just fitted the plastic servo arm that came with the savox to start with. So let's have a look. Yeah, so it's got pretty positive steering. Let's get the wheels and body back on so we've got some weight on it and see how it behaves. Right, so with its own weight on it, yeah, the servo definitely doesn't struggle turning the wheels now. So that's on a really grippy mat, no issues with it. Full lock straight away both directions. You don't even have to be moving. Let's quickly just drop it down on carpet. So that's also on a pretty grippy carpet. Full lock to lock straight away. So yeah, is a little bit not exactly a drop-in fit servo, but really good performance. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you guys again next time.